In the heart of the spiral galaxy, the floating city of Viridia shimmered like a jewel among the stars. Its crystalline towers pierced the nebulae, and its streets bustled with beings from 100 worlds. Here the Galactic Council convened, a gathering of the most advanced and ancient civilizations, each proud of their wisdom and wary of threats to their order. Zoran, diplomat of the crystalline Lithari, glided through the council chamber, his translucent form refracting the light into rainbows. He was known for his caution and his deep respect for tradition. Beside him, Pyrrha, a Selkith scientist with iridescent scales and curious, wide eyes, floated in a sphere of water, her tentacles flicking through data streams. Jaxel, the Dravari envoy, lounged nearby, his form shifting between feline and avian shapes, a perpetual smirk on his lips. The council's attention was fixed on the central holoscreen, where a swirling blue-green planet spun slowly. "The species calls itself human," intoned the chair, a being of pure energy known as the Chorus. "They have achieved faster-than-light travel. Their vessel, the Wanderer, has entered our domain." Zoran's crystalline voice chimed. "We must proceed with caution. Their history is rife with conflict." Pyrrha's eyes sparkled. "But their creativity is unmatched. Imagine what we could learn." Jaxel grinned, morphing his face into a human-like smile. "Or what trouble they could cause. I say we meet them. What's the worst that could happen?" The council debated, voices rising and falling like waves. Finally, the chorus declared, "We shall extend an invitation. Let us show them the wonders of Viridia." As preparations began, the Wanderer approached. Inside, Captain Rhea paced the bridge, her boots echoing on metal. Her crew, Navigator Samir, Engineer Lynn, Medic Tessa, and Linguist Olin, watched the swirling city with awe and apprehension. "Are we sure this is a good idea?" Olin asked, adjusting his translation device. "Too late to back out now," Rhea replied, straightening her jacket. "Let's make history." The Wanderer docked at Viridia's grand port, its ramp lowering onto a platform of living crystal. Zoran, Pyrrha, and Jaxel waited, flanked by honor guards. The human stepped out, blinking in the strange light. Zoran bowed, refracting a spectrum across the platform. "Welcome, travelers. I am Zoran of the Lithari." Rhea extended a hand, unsure if that was appropriate. Zoran hesitated, then mimicked the gesture, his crystalline fingers cool and smooth. Pyrrha bubbled with excitement, offering a glowing orb as a gift. Samir, misinterpreting, tried to eat it, causing Pyrrha to shriek in alarm. Jaxel laughed, shifting into a form with 4 arms and offering a handshake, a bow, and a salute all at once. The humans tried to copy him, resulting in a tangled mess of limbs. The council watched in horror and fascination as the humans stumbled through the welcome ceremony, misinterpreting every custom. When offered a ceremonial drink, Lynn spat it out, not realizing it was meant to be poured over one's head. Tessa attempted to pet a sentient plant, only to be chased by its snapping vines. As the chaos unfolded, Zoran whispered to Pyrrha, "Perhaps we should have studied their customs more closely," Pyrrha replied. "Or perhaps they should have studied ours." Jaxel, delighted, declared, "This is the most fun I've had in centuries." The council convened an emergency session. The chorus's voice quivered with concern. "Are we certain these humans are ready for galactic society?" Zoran, ever cautious, argued for delay. Pyrrha, still hopeful, insisted that humans could adapt. Jaxel lobbied for more interaction, convinced that chaos would breed opportunity. Meanwhile, the humans, oblivious to the council's debate, explored Viridia. They marveled at floating gardens, gravity-defying fountains, and markets filled with foods that shimmered and sang. They tried to blend in, but their every move drew stares and whispers. Olin attempted to communicate with a group of avian merchants, only to accidentally propose marriage to 3 of them. Samir got lost in a maze of shifting corridors, emerging hours later with a new pet, a tiny iridescent creature that promptly ate his communicator. Lynn, ever the engineer, was fascinated by the city's technology. She pressed buttons, pulled levers, and accidentally triggered a citywide alarm. Sirens wailed, lights flashed, and the humans found themselves surrounded by security drones. Captain Rhea tried to explain, but her words were lost in translation. The drones escorted the crew back to their ship, where Zoran, Pyrrha, and Jaxel awaited. "Perhaps," Zoran said gently, "it would be best if you observed rather than participated for now." Rhea nodded, chastened. "We'll do our best." As the Wanderer's crew settled in, the council deliberated late into the night. Some argued for sending the humans home, fearing further disruption. Others saw potential in their creativity and resilience. Pyrrha, ever the optimist, addressed the council. "They are different, yes, unpredictable, but so are we in our own ways. Let us not judge too quickly." Jaxel winked at Zoran. "Besides, it's been far too long since Viridia had a little excitement." The chorus, after much debate, announced their decision. "The humans may stay for now, but we must proceed with caution." As dawn broke over Viridia, the humans gazed out at the city, unaware of the storm they had stirred. Zoran watched from the council tower, wondering if they had made the right choice. Pyrrha dreamed of new discoveries. Jaxel plotted his next prank. And, somewhere, deep in the city, ancient mechanisms stirred, sensing the presence of the newcomers. The galaxy had seen real humans at last, and the consequences were only beginning. The city of Viridia shimmered with the first light of a new cycle, its towers casting long prismatic shadows over the waking metropolis. The Galactic Council chamber, usually a place of calm deliberation, now buzzed with nervous energy. The events of the previous day, the humans' arrival and their accidental chaos, had left the council divided and the city's citizens on edge. A council in crisis. Zoran, the crystalline diplomat, stood at the center of the chamber, his facets dull with worry. Beside him floated Pyrrha, the Selkith scientist, her tentacles coiling anxiously. The Dravari envoy, Jaxel, lounged in a high-backed chair, his form flickering with amusement. The council chair, the chorus, addressed them. "The humans remain unpredictable. We must guide them through our ways lest their presence destabilize Viridia." Vesh, an ambitious assistant from the insectoid Karax, stepped forward, his mandibles clicking. "I propose a series of diplomatic rituals. Let them prove their adaptability. If they fail, we reconsider their place here." Zoran nodded. "A wise suggestion. Let us begin with the ceremony of unity." Humans on trial in their quarters, Captain Rhea and her crew tried to recover from the previous day's embarrassment. Samir nursed a headache. Lynn fiddled with a broken communicator, and Tessa tried to calm the still nervous pet Samir had acquired. Olin, the linguist, scanned his device. "The council wants us to participate in something called the Ceremony of Unity. I think it's a kind of team-building exercise." Rhea straightened her jacket. "Whatever it is, we'll handle it together. We can't afford another disaster." They were escorted to a vast amphitheater where council members and curious citizens gathered. Zoran, Pyrrha, and Vesh greeted them. "The Ceremony of Unity," Zoran explained, "is a tradition among our peoples. Each participant contributes a symbol of their culture to a communal mosaic. It represents harmony and diversity." The humans exchanged nervous glances. Lynn produced a circuit board, Samir a battered compass, Tessa a medical patch, and Olin a book of poetry. Rhea, after a moment's thought, offered her captain's insignia. As they stepped forward, Vesh whispered to a Kirax attendant, "Watch closely. Their choices will reveal much." The mosaic shimmered as each item was placed, but when Samir's compass touched the surface, the entire structure pulsed with energy and exploded into a cloud of glittering dust. The crowd gasped. Zoran rushed forward, examining the remains. "It appears the compass's magnetic field destabilized the mosaic's core." Pyrrha tried to reassure the humans. "It was an accident. Our traditions are delicate." Vesh, however, seized the moment. "Perhaps humans are simply too disruptive for our ways." Rituals and revelations determined to make amends, the humans agreed to participate in further rituals. The next challenge was the Dance of Convergence, a complex performance involving synchronized movement and harmonic resonance. Olin, relying on his translation device, tried to follow the instructions, but the device lagged, causing him to spin when he should have bowed. Lynn tripped over her own feet, knocking over a Selkith dancer. Samir's pet escaped, weaving through the dancers and causing a cascade of collisions. The audience erupted in laughter and groans. Jaxel, ever the trickster, joined the humans, transforming into a mirror image of Rhea and leading a mock dance that turned the ritual into a slapstick spectacle. Afterward, Zorn and Pyrrha met with Rhea in private. "We appreciate your efforts," Zorn said gently. "But perhaps our cultures are too different." Rhea, frustrated but determined, replied, "We want to learn. Let us try again." The sacred ceremony, the council decided to give the humans one last chance. Participation in the sacred ceremony of the Heartstone, an ancient event held deep within Viridia's oldest temple. Vesh, seeing an opportunity, volunteered to guide them. As they entered the temple, its walls pulsing with ancient energy, Vesh whispered instructions with a sly smile. "Place your hands on the Heartstone and focus your thoughts on unity," he said. "But be warned, any discord will awaken the Guardian." The humans gathered around the Heartstone, a massive crystal pulsing with light. They closed their eyes, concentrating. But Samir, distracted by his pet, lost focus. Lynn, still embarrassed from earlier, worried she would fail again. Tessa thought of home. Olin recited poetry in his mind. Rhea tried to hold them together, but their thoughts were scattered. The Heartstone flared and the temple shook. From the shadows emerged the Guardian, a towering, spectral being of light and shadow, its eyes burning with ancient power. The council panicked. "They have awakened the Guardian!" cried Vesh, feigning shock. "Chaos and alliances," the Guardian roared, its voice echoing through the city. "Who dares disturb my rest?" Rhea stepped forward, hands raised. "We meant no harm. We're new here." The Guardian's gaze swept over the humans and council alike. Unity is not found in ritual but in understanding. You seek harmony, yet you fear difference. Pyrrha, moved by the Guardian's words, addressed the council. "Perhaps we have been too rigid. The humans are not like us, but that does not mean they cannot belong." Vesh, sensing his plan slipping away, tried to blame the humans. "They are dangerous. Send them away before they bring more ruin." Jaxel, siding with the humans, countered. "Or perhaps we need a little chaos. It keeps us from growing stagnant." The Guardian, watching the debate, declared, "The city will face a trial. Only those who embrace both order and chaos will prevail." With a wave of its hand, the Guardian unleashed a surge of energy, causing the city's gravity fields to fluctuate. Buildings floated, streets twisted, and citizens scrambled for safety. The trial of Viridia. The council and humans were forced to work together. Lynn, fascinated by the city's technology, quickly devised a plan to stabilize the gravity fields. Pyrrha and Samir collaborated to calm the panicked citizens, using a combination of Selkith calming songs and human humor. Olin and Zoran worked to translate the Guardian's cryptic instructions, while Tessa and Jaxel coordinated rescue efforts, using their unique skills to reach those trapped in floating buildings. Vesh, desperate to regain control, tried to sabotage the humans' efforts, but was caught by Rhea. "Enough," she said. "We're here to help, not to harm." With teamwork and determination, the group managed to restore order. The Guardian, watching from above, nodded in approval. "You have passed the trial," it intoned. "Not because you followed tradition, but because you adapted. Unity is not sameness, it is strength and diversity." Aftermath and new tensions. As the city settled, the council reconvened. Some members, impressed by the humans' resilience, argued for their inclusion. Others, wary of further chaos, remained opposed. Pyrrha spoke passionately. "We have seen what they can do. Yes, they are unpredictable, but so are we in our own ways." Zoran, still cautious, admitted, "They have shown courage and creativity. Perhaps we can learn from them." Jaxel, grinning, added, "At the very least, they make life interesting." Vesh, defeated but unrepentant, warned, "If we let them stay, we must be ready for anything." The chorus, weighing all arguments, announced, "We will hold an emergency session to decide humanity's fate." As night fell over Viridia, Rhea and her crew gathered on their ship, exhausted but hopeful. They had survived the Council's tests, forged new alliances, and faced ancient powers. But their future in the galaxy remained uncertain, and deep within the city the Guardian watched, its eyes reflecting the swirling chaos and possibility that the humans had brought. The day the galaxy saw real humans, it also saw itself anew. And not everyone was ready for what came next. The floating city of Viridia was cloaked in twilight, its crystalline towers glowing softly against the darkening nebulae. The Galactic Council chamber, a place usually reserved for measured debate, now thrummed with urgency and tension. The emergency session had been called to decide humanity's fate, whether they would be embraced as equals or cast out as dangerous anomalies. A council divided. Zoran, the crystalline diplomat, stood at the forefront, his facets dimmed by worry. Beside him floated Pyrrha, the Selkith scientist, her iridescent scales shimmering with hope. Jaxel, the Dravari envoy, shifted his form restlessly, his usual smirk replaced by a serious expression. Vesh, the insectoid assistant, paced with sharp clicks of his mandibles, his eyes gleaming with ambition. The chorus, the being of pure energy who chaired the council, radiated calm, but carried the weight of the galaxy's judgment. The humans have shown resilience and creativity, Pyrrha began, her voice steady. They have passed our trials, not by mimicking us but by embracing their differences. They bring new perspectives that could enrich us all. Vesh countered sharply. Their unpredictability threatens our order. They disrupted sacred ceremonies, awakened ancient guardians, and nearly destroyed this city. Can we risk such chaos? Zoran, ever the mediator, raised a hand. Both points are valid, but we must consider the consequences of our decision. Banishing them could ignite conflict. Accepting them without caution could invite further disruption. Jaxel nodded. The galaxy has grown complacent. Humans challenge us to rethink our traditions. That is not a threat, it is evolution. Fleet Captain Rhea stood before the council, her posture firm despite the weight of their scrutiny. We did not come here to conquer or destroy. We came seeking knowledge, friendship, and a place among the stars. Yes, we made mistakes. We are still learning, but we offer our hands, not weapons. She looked around the chamber, meeting the eyes of each council member. If you cast us out, you do not just reject us, you reject the chance to grow together. The chamber was silent. The chorus's voice broke the stillness. The decision is not ours alone. The Guardian of the Heartstone has decreed a final trial, one that will test not only the humans, but all who dwell in Viridia. The final trial, the Guardian's voice echoed through the chamber. The city faces a threat born of imbalance, an ancient force awakened by fear and discord. Only by uniting in purpose can you save Viridia. Suddenly, the city trembled. The skies darkened as a shadow spread across the nebulae. From the depths of Viridia's core emerged a colossal entity, an embodiment of chaos and destruction, a swirling mass of energy and malice. The council and humans alike scrambled to respond. Zoran coordinated defenses, his crystalline form glowing with focused energy. Pyrrha analyzed the entity's patterns, seeking a weakness. Jaxel transformed, darting through the chaos to aid those in danger. Rhea rallied her crew. This is our chance to prove ourselves. We fight not just for survival but for acceptance. Lynn worked feverishly to interface human technology with Viridia's ancient systems, creating a hybrid defense. Samir piloted drones to evacuate civilians. Olin used his linguistic skills to communicate with frightened citizens, calming panic. A unity forged in fire. As the battle raged, tensions flared. Vesh attempted to seize control of the defense systems, seeking to use the crisis to eliminate the humans once and for all. Tessa confronted him. Her medical skills now turned to protecting allies from harm. This isn't the time for power plays, she said firmly. We either stand together or fall divided. Vesh snarled but relented, grudgingly cooperating. Rhea and Zoran led a combined strike against the entity's core, their energies intertwining. Pyrrha and Lynn synchronized scientific and technological efforts to disrupt the entity's energy flow. Jaxel and Samir coordinated rescue and containment. Slowly the entity weakened, its chaotic form unraveling under their combined efforts. The aftermath as dawn broke over Viridia, the entity dissolved into harmless stardust. The city breathed a collective sigh of relief. The council chamber reconvened, this time with a new atmosphere, one of cautious optimism. The chorus spoke. Through trial and tribulation, you have shown that unity is possible, even among the most different. Humans, you have earned your place in this galaxy. Applause echoed through the chamber. Zoran smiled faintly. Pyra's eyes sparkled and Jaxel's grin returned. Rhea addressed the council. We are grateful for your trust. We will continue to learn and grow alongside you. Vesh, though silent, watched with narrowed eyes. A reminder that vigilance was still needed. A galaxy forever changed. The presence of humanity in the galaxy sparked new dialogues, alliances, and challenges. Traditions evolved and the Galactic Council adapted to a new era of diversity and unpredictability. Viridia became a symbol of hope and change, a place where order and chaos danced together, forging a future none could have predicted. And somewhere, in the quiet corners of the city, the Guardian of the Heartstone watched, its ancient eyes reflecting the endless possibilities born from the day the galaxy saw real humans, and regretted every choice that came with it.